fast she didn't even realize what had happened. She woke up and she heard us shouting. It was muffled. She could barely make out what was person saying. Something like wrong person. It did blind. She tried to move her arms, but they were tied with chair. Time skipped up to some hours. Why and heard a footstep at the door opened. A tall, dark figure was standing over her. She couldn't make out his dress. His arms were covered in tattoos and scars. Then the light hit his face and his jaw dropped. She saw that he looked like you could sense that his dark, threatening aura. He was just standing there with a cold look in his face. He looked Asian, had a black band scarfing his forehead. Wyan, who are you? She spluttered. He was really out. JK, Jungkook, but my question is, who are you? Wyan, and if you don't know me, then why would you kidnap me? She shouted, not knowing where the sudden confidence came from. Jungkook leaned down and glared at her. JK, you sure talk aloud, someone who was just kidnapped. Maybe I should have taped your mouth to shut. Wyan instantly shut her mouth. She obviously wasn't going to mess with the guy who probably had a gun and could permanently shut her up. Wyan, you know I don't want you right here, Jungkook said, and he pulled out a knife. JK, my man captured you instead of who I really wanted. He continued while playing with the knife. JK, but since you are here now, I might as well keep you. You have already seen my fire, so I can't just let you go. It's not that simple. His eye gleamed with a murderous intent. JK, I have a two option. He plays a knife towards Wyan's throat. I could kill you or I could just stay with me forever, he said when he pulled away his Wyan under his eyes in fear. JK, you pick. What scared her that most that he kept the same emotionless look on his face the whole time. Wyan, I would rather stay forever, she whimpered. He leaned towards her and whispered, good answer. He stood up straight. JK, Ryle, he strangled his one of the men. JK, cut her ropes. He turned towards Wyan and said, try anything funny and I'll shoot you on the spot. Then the man she assumed was Ryle came towards and cut her ropes with a knife. Then Jungkook's voice echoed to the room. JK, follow me. He turned around to see her trembling. When she stood up, her legs were shaking like a crazy. JK, you are so square, you are like a kid. He came towards her. Wyan, you expect me to sing and dance after being kidnapped? She said his eye gleamed. Don't talk like that with me. Jungkook picked her up and carried her outside. Wyan, hey, what are you doing? Put me down, she yelled, struggling. JK, if you don't shut up, then I'll shoot you by myself and you won't like the way I do it. Wyan instantly stopped and just stared at him. Jungkook looked at her. JK, stop staring at me. Wyan kept quiet and didn't say anything as she didn't want to die. Wyan, for why do the worst thing always happen to me? Wyan, where are you taking me? Wyan was scared, thinking he might lock her in basement. Jungkook just ignored her and kept walking. Wyan, why does he think he is? She thought. JK, hey woman, stop cursing. She widened her eyes. Wyan, point of view. Does he hear me? Was it that loud? Jungkook is the Mafia king who has anger issue, while Wyan is an orphan soft girl who did not have anyone on her side. She was working in a cafe from past 4 years, but today the owner of the cafe fired her. They came through the one of the huge area which she assumed was Jungkook's mansion. The area they came through was one of the biggest place she would ever seen. He really got the money. JK, I know what you're thinking. This is the biggest place you have ever seen. You must think you're the luckiest person, but the rest is assured. He leaned towards her once more and whispered, JK, it's a fake luxury for you. Your horrible life begins now. Wyan spoke. What is he was going to do me? He seems to be more square now. Wyan started to shiver once more. The stairs were lined with gold. The entire atmosphere would be enjoyable if she wasn't kidnapped. He walked upstairs to hallway that stopped at the third door on the left side. He slowly walked inside, revealing a beautiful decorated room. Then he finally put her down. JK, from now on you are my personal maid, he stated. Wyan, why don't you have any others? Wyan still was scared, but he didn't do anything wrong yet. She decided to try to speak to him. JK, don't talk back to me, he said coldly. JK, you really thought I would just let you live here and enjoy? He turned and walked out the door. JK, meet me downstairs in 1 hour. Wyan stood up from the bed and looked around. It is really a gorgeous room, kinda hard to enjoy when you are kidnapped. She walked into the clothing store and saw a bunch of clothing. Is he already prepared? How long I was unconscious? Wyan got dressed into new clothing and left the beautiful decorated room behind and walked down to the elegant golden staircase. When she got to the bottom, she saw Jungkook waiting at the bottom at the store talking on the phone. Jungkook again said, "JK, go to the kitchen and that's where the other mates are. They will tell you what I have to do." He turned and walked out of the door. Ryan muttered under the breath. She walked to the kitchen and was greeted by her new life. There were many maids and one walked up to her. Ryan looked at her name tag and her name was Mary. She gave her a judgmental look and said, "Mary, listen, we have worked here for long enough to know what we do. You don't question and you will not talk back." Ryan nodded her head. Ryan, "Yes ma'am." "Mary, I want you to go to the clean master's room. If you don't do it well, you have to clean the whole house on your own." The maid said and walked away. Ryan walked to the stair. The room which she was in was Jungkook's. When she walked inside, she knew it was his bedroom. It was very large and spacious. She started dusting everything first. She was completing her task while listening to the music. She was even moving her body to the bits. Jungkook came there to take his important file. When he saw her without him knowing, he stared outside at the cute smile was taking his lip. He was admiring her. When she walked into the closet, she saw a safe which was slightly open. She walked over to close it and heard a familiar voice. "What are you doing?" Jungkook stepped towards her dangerously. "JK, I asked, what are you doing?" "When one of the maids told me to clean this room." Now she was terrified and was fluttering. He really looked pissed. He walked towards the closets and opened it in full way. There was nothing inside, so he turned around and somehow looked even more angry. "JK, how dare you take my stuff without my permission?" He walked closer to her, which she didn't seem impossible. As he was already close enough, she felt a tears about the floor. She softly whispered, "Ryan, I'm sorry, I didn't take anything, I promise."